Thank you very much. Yes, a clash of the different helmets. It is, of course, the Masked Samurai versus the Spartan. Hard Legion versus G2. And the scene's set perfectly, Henry, for us to get into this one.
Yeah.
They're leaning towards G2, despite the stats not necessarily looking too
I was
promising.
expecting Hard Legion's stats, though, to look a little bit more convincing. They only had a 50% ratio themselves against teams that the analyst mentioned. Doesn't really build a compelling case they're going to take this one. But still, we go in open-minded, Alex, as I'm sure they will as well. Hard Legion with 4 players outside of the A-bomb site right now. P250 and Armor in the hands of Krad. They've got a smoke for plenty CT spawn or towards the connector position as they'll get ready. They set Sviat towards the T-spawn position after waiting for B aggression. He'll probably flash over twice for them once they position their smoke accordingly. And at this point, we're going to see now 3 CTs towards short. They'll be ready to jump into action as soon as they get information they're attacking towards the A side.
Yeah, that's interesting because they can respond so quickly to a full B and to the A call. They can just leap straight through middle. And now, here we go. The site completely open. And the first blood draw on the CTs catch them on the cross. Hunter tapping away at one. Krad is low as well. They're going to send Kinky in on an aggressive mission, and he first does find Hunter. If he gets Jax, they got to weigh in. Instead, the body still litter the battlefield in favor of G2. Precise with the P250, but not more than a consolation prize. The round goes the way of G2, convincingly so. And they played for the retake, Hank. What do you make of G2's pistol setup there?
The fact they had 3 towards short, it's actually great to watch that because that's such a prime position on the map itself, and it gives you good access towards A if required. You could see how that came in full force once they detected that A pounce. They managed to hit the initial shots there, had time to reposition and trade out the kills effectively. The fact there was no bomb planted suggests that was a very good round indeed, and it will be the eco in response from Hard Legion. There's P250s, no armor, no nades, and looks like heavy damage with the grenade at the start. So we sphere down to 47 at the A ramp. If they even get a couple of kills here, that'll be a success in its own right, considering the complexion of the setup here. But more damage being inflicted as time goes by.
Those HEs just raining in. That's the last of them. Oh dear. Oh, Craddy. Nasty way to go. He had 0 options for survival there. And ooh, it just flew across his screen. He wasn't ready for it. Good catch on the Glocks, but should be tidied up with this. Ooh, damage fall off being punished a little bit there from Hunter. And now scavenged away for Mass. Unfortunately, not quite going to do the necessary dirty work. It will just be Sviat walking into Jax's MP9. A little $600 injected into his bank account and a content Malik to start things off. Not much you can complain about. 2-0. And it's time for Hard Legion's first buy round of their T side. Let's see what they've got up their sleeves.
Well, the Kriegs and the AKs to kick things off with no bomb plant, though. Very unlikely they have the AWP presence. Same story for G2, though, and in terms of firepower overall, Hard Legion have got the edge up against the UMP of Amanek and Jax's MP9, but these guys are very well versed with lesser weaponry. I'm sure it won't be a problem as they inflict initial damage once again, this time towards Kinky. He was at the A ramp, down to 56. Could be the final map of the day here. This is the Group A winners game. Or Group B, I think it is, actually. The opposite of that.
Not that. It's
Not
actually
that.
Group B, but yeah.
Group B, you know, but still, whoever wins this will be getting a day off tomorrow. Managing to launch the next stage of the tournament and come back for the playoffs.
Jax has got so much to handle if they actually commit to this. He does have some support in Kenny and Nexa, but he'll be playing aggressive on ramp. They've got 2 set up to hold this ramp aggressive. If they push in, though, they could meet Kinky. Oh, and the crouch crab walk. Bears fruit. They get the frag. There's not much they can do about that. Bomb's going to be down towards T-spawn if they continue their push. Amanek and Krad having somewhat of a standoff here in Apps, and it does seem like it's worked out for Amanek. Doesn't matter which SMG. He's just got... Woo!
Oh, surprised at that. He had the smoke as well. I thought he was going to be out of there. This is starting to fall apart now. Bomb's still down, but still the frag's coming through for Hard Legion. That's not connecting with the FAMAS. Just about gets it together towards the end. 20 seconds remain.
What on earth? That's quite the run. Can they make it to B at that time?
Yeah, I think they can with 20 seconds, but it'll be a bit of a scramble here. And in terms of positioning, well, Hunter, he'll just be posted up on the site. He knows they can't really waste any time at this point as they'll make their way through. 10 seconds on the clock. Noise will have to be made. They have to assume it's clear at this point.
5, 4, and that's the round. Wow, Hunter. Lovely patience from him. He used the clock to his advantage there. He knew they would be caught with their pants around their ankles.
Yeah, they certainly were. In a round that G2 looked like they might have thrown away at one point, managed to stabilize and keep 3 alive there as they try to make their way back towards B. It wasn't quite enough time though. There was enough for the plant, but they couldn't check out the key positions of the bomb site. Hunter plays it perfectly as he gets the 3-0 up. No bomb planted. Another partial buy required here from Hard Legion. Yet to make their mark here on their map pick up Mirage. Just 5 deagles. Bit of Kevlar to go with them, but no grenades. Just looking for the 1 deags if possible. So they'll slow things right down here, Alex, and see what opportunities are available.
Deco's hurt in Counter-Strike, and many teams have managed to master this craft. Does require punishing peaks like that. Had he beheaded Jax on his jump for info, they would have been an acceleration for us. The leaping out of Palace and challenging out Nexa before he could piece together the loss of life. Instead, it is going to be Kenny to draw blood, favoring the CTs, and that's kept traded. Nexa. Oh my goodness.
And made a bit of a meal of it.
Yeah, it's getting a bit awkward, a bit hot under the collar in the G2 jersey, and Jax ready and willing to give another fight to Kinky. Eventually tap away at his head, but this round had a real chance to spiral. Crad picks up a FAMAS, walks straight into Hunter, but Krieg versus FAMAS, and it does favor the stronger gun.
Yeah, good shot from Hunter. Very influential. That round certainly was getting a little out of hand there. Great shot from Sviat. Using the Desert Eagle. Maximum range there. Still got a chance for a second as well, but Hunter in a perfect position to shut him down. Takes 1 bullet to the chest, but still alive and kicking. 4-0. They have been kept on a relatively modest leash with the players going down in the last few rounds, but still 3 survived. They've got themselves a Krieg in the hands of Hunter, and 4 for Amanek, and of course Kenny S on the AWP. Round 5. 2-0 getting more and more likely as the rounds go by. Hard Legion yet to impress me. Show me why they've picked this map, but very early days, of course. Yeah. First proper gun round from them. They've got the AWP out this time. Speedak will be rocking that. Forrester to head towards the A ramp, who was one of the key fraggers on Vertigo. Oh, he hits it.
What a shot. Damages Crad, but he may not be ready for this angle above the smoke.
Oh, no. That's insane.
I love that we had the X-ray off just so you can appreciate how little he could see. Completely blind. Jax.
Surprised he missed that.
Yeah, it's a fumbled miss there from him.
Could have taken his time with it, fired off the first shot, didn't connect, and then punished. Second time that's happened now.
But Nexa has access to Palace. That makes this A assault late arrival to A after the paranoia of having Jax already pushed through Palace. God, they look a little scattered here. What's the call? Forrest is going to hold mid. Kinky's going to be towards underpass. They're going to try and eventually end with a 2-2 split. Forrester and Kinky heading towards the connector, and then Sviat and Crad slowly, methodically clearing out A. Utility-wise, it does seem like Sviat has the jungle smoke and the stairs from Crad. That will at least keep the CT attention. Fortunately for them, though, that's not where they're currently being held at Bay. Nexa's just holding up in Palace, which means Kenny can go for some aggressive AWPing towards the ramp.
Nice position to do so. He has got Nexa patrolling that area. Covered from the flashbangs, nailing the shots. Kenny S on an absolute tear in this series so far, finding some great form in 2019 towards the end of it. But now, might be tested. Painted into a corner towards the shadow position, but Hunter looks like he's got this one under control, certainly does. Lovely headshot with the Krieg, puts him in a 4-on-2 situation with 10 seconds remaining, but still Forrester has a chance. He does need to recover the bomb, and with time dwindling away, Alex, even if he gets this penultimate kill, it won't mean much. Nexa has been in the Palace the entire round. Shuts it down once again. It's going to be 5-0. Even with the maximum loss bonus, they might still struggle here, considering they haven't had a bomb down in the last couple of rounds. So, 3,400 for Speedax. Same sort of story for Spiat as well. Might have to be Deagles and armor. As we'll see Kenny S with a remarkable shot there. He actually legged Crad to kick things off there, and then takes down the AWPer as well. Gets 3 in total. And we'll get into round 6. So, a tactical timeout. First one called by Hard Legion, their map pick. Haven't found themselves in the most promising of situations. Luckily for them, this is not an elimination game. But G2, certainly the favourites in the tournament. And in this matchup, you'd expect them to take a 2-0. Right?
Yeah. But we were talking about this being, Summit and this back-to-back being a good opportunity for them to kind of develop their playing as a favourite.
Cash in.
Cash in, for sure. One grand final, not lifting the trophy though. And now looking to do one better here in Malta. Excuse me. Going to be leaning towards utility instead of weaponry as they're going to go for the pistols. 4 CZs. You don't see that every day.
And on the T side, especially on Mirage, normally be Desert Eagles, but they're going to get scrappy towards B and have run and gun potential and some jumping shots as well. Maybe the CZ is the best point of access here, but Grenade's going to be exchanged once again. Amanek will reposition back towards the bench. Throws in a flashbang, and there are 3 Ts on the other side of that one. They're going to commit off this. He's talked about the execution potential, and you can see this is where the CZ will thrive. Sviat's got himself a guaranteed frag. I think a couple of kills here on the T side. Not quite, though. Amanek holds him off valiantly there. Lovely shot, the Desert Eagle. If he doesn't connect that one, maybe there's a chance of the plant, but still, he's on for the ace at this point. Kinky will limp in from the short position. He has got through relatively undetected. I feel like he'll be taken down momentarily. Had to make that a quick kill. He does on the second one, so denies the ace at least. That's about as good as it gets. 6-0 for G2.
Amanek, the fact that he gets that second kill on the spray, then just enough time to equip the Desert Eagle, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you can see, of course, on your screens, if you use code ECC, you can get extra money on your account. That's account, ACOUNT.
That's hellcase.com. HELLCASEDOTCOM.
Yeah, that's the full URL in case you were wondering. For now, this time with weapons, they look to connect on B. Now, Speedak, they said on the desk he has to be firing on all cylinders, contesting. He was absent on Vertigo, and with this being the map pick of Hard Legion, you can't help but wonder when he's going to come online. 7 rounds in so far. Would be his moment. Svat and Kinky going to be working in unison with Krad. They've got an aggressive mid-hold set up here at the moment from the CTs. It can all come down to timing. The players in the underpass start their advance. There is still a back turned. That will be Kenny S responsible for middle, held but alongside Nexa. And now they're going to get the timing. They'll hear the steps. Kenny holds his nerve. Next responsible for it, and he does get the first. Kenny the second, and now Speedak going for the no-scope wildly. Has managed to keep things level, actually. Quick fragging from Speedak.
Yeah, I'm not sure why so many CTs were thrown in that position. They had a decent lead at that point, but now Hard Legion with a chance at their first round here. Amanek, I feel like he's been detected at this point, but no, Speedak will fall back. He's got the bomb on his back as well. Seems to be aware of the prospect of the CT coming through. All comes out the timings here. Amanek spots him.
He's got the info. He knows that that's the bomb, and what is his decision because of it? Charging towards Palace, knife out. He knows he has the advantage. Speedak, any second he waits, he wavers. It's an advantage towards G2.
He'll probably go out towards Palace, as well. We'll see. Amanek does have the prime opportunity, though, but every second he waits now, there's a chance they'll detect his positioning. Makes his way through. Player beneath him.
Oh, we saw him. Just for a moment, he was crossing towards ramp. He hasn't processed that. Here's the scope, and it's Speedak to frag out. The first for Hard Legion. It has to be the first of many, but it is with Speedak's AWP. We talked about him having to step up in the preface of that round, and, well, triple kill.
And just like that, the money's broken. 6 rounds in a row. A little bit over-aggressive there in the previous round after finding the first 2 picks, and now they'll have to take a timeout and work out if it's worth buying into this, because they can buy next round with the loss bonus, but you don't want the cash to build up on the Hard Legion side. But this is where the game normally swings back in favor of the T side. This is pretty classic in today's game. They have a great start, but the Deagles are just relentless. They keep getting plants down, a few kills, and then as soon as they get one on the board, that's it. Nice idea there from Amanek. Almost got the backstab through there, but he can't believe it. Very unlucky with the timings.
Yeah, I had a good feeling about that Amanek clutch. He had all the tools at his disposal.
If he was like 1 second ahead of it, I think he gets it.
Yeah. Good catch from Speedak, all the same. Crucial third frag to stop that from spiraling. Forrester was on CT. That's not a hard transfer. But good repositioning. Let's see if they can start running with this then. It doesn't look like G2 are willing to force the issue. In more than one sense of the word. But a dream here would be just a couple of frags. Of course, the round win is the ultimate goal, but keeping Hard Legion honest for their buy in the next.
Yeah, so pretty much the full eco here. Brad should be checking this position now. Certainly will be now. Spots the shin of Nexa, and a couple of quick kills coming through. That should confirm things here. Maybe a chance of the 1D, but Kenny S looks like he has to fall back. Sviat's got window under his remit. 5 on 2. Job done.
Yeah, mission complete. Bomb down to confirm it. And we highlighted that finding frags was their goal. Well, now that goal has shifted. Hard Legion on the hunt a little bit for Kenny. Only really got a USP. Nothing Amanek can say about that.
Nothing at all, really. So we had to confirm things there. A clean sweep for Hard Legion, just what they needed. Money's still in a bit of a dire spot for G2, even after the eco in the previous round. Hunter still sits just beneath $4,000, though. We'll see Kenny S bring out the AWP from As for Hunter. Not the end of the world. Here's the scores for you right now. No one really dropping off or excelling on the G2 side. We need to see a bit more from Crad and Kinky, but overall, early days here. They can still come back and win this half, considering their position to find themselves. And now this could be this swing point of the game. As see Kenny S makes way towards short. Flash, but still vaults up there, no problem. It's been the connector pretty much most of the rounds here, so we'll see if he can find any wiggle room towards middle. Flashbang from Forrester.
Yeah, and they're going to go in on this. Forrester straight out the window. The molly stops him, but still not undeterred. He leaps out. Hunter catches another. And just like that, this round has come crumbling down around Hard Legion.
Yeah, very awkward on the timings there. That was unlucky. The fact the incendiary hits him as well and essentially puts him in glue. Very frustrating, but Sviat might be able to pull one back here. He does. At what cost, though? Can he get out?
He is sweating bullets right now. What can you really do? Kenny's got to deal with that smoke. It is not clear to him as to whether or not they could poke their head out the back of it, and they do. Speedak presents himself. Quick trade, though, from Kinky. He's down now looking for a 1 versus 4. He knows Hunter's location. 50 seconds, and draws the info. Nice shots, but can't quite connect to necessary bullets. Instead, it will be the 7th for G2. We highlighted just how crucial that was, and a triple kill from the star of the G2 show puts them back in control of the money.
Quickly becoming the star as well. I remember this is like essentially his rookie year in terms of being a pro player.
That's crazy.
He's been Counter-Strike for a long time, but still, no one really heard of him until 2019, and he really has exploded. Started things off in the crazy roster back at the Berlin Major. Yeah. They certainly turned some heads. Didn't make it to the playoffs, but they had a lot of teams in the ropes there. They were an exciting team for sure. Himself and Nexa picked up to join the new international look of G2, and it's still early days, but still, everyone's got promising thoughts about this team generally, I'd say.
Oh, no doubt. Nexa could get caught out here, though. He's just dancing in the smoke at the moment. Tees have passed him. Little gap, and Crad with a nade in his hand. It looks like it's going to land in the pocket of Nexa, but still fragging. He gets it. Sviat throwing out a couple of warning shots, and just like that, the round is done. Speedak desperately cowering in Palace. Kenny's popped off again, a double kill. Materializing out of what felt like nothing. The round just dissolving for Hard Legion. Let's not forget, this is not the B hit round. It's just another one added to the tally, just like that.
And that's a quick one. 8-2. Kenny S looks like he's playing on fire right now. Not really missing a single shot. 180's coming through. Feels like he's in great form right now. A lot of Counter-Strike played by that young man recently. Textbook stuff from Kenny S. Speedak didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, that was so comfortable. You can see the barrel just walking through the smoke. It's a free frag in Counter-Strike. You are full gray screen, but they can see you coming. Tactical pause, understandably so, for Hard Legion. That's going to be their second of the 4 available to them on the second map of this series. Money broken again, so no chance for Speedak to have too much more additional impact with that AWP. The one round we've seen Hard Legion find success on was when they got that AWP in Speedak's hands. Admittedly, it was also from some overzealous rotates from the CTs, the French, looking to contest middle and couldn't handle the quick adjustments of Speedak. We're into what does look to be the half investment.
Indeed. No one breaking double digits yet on the Hard Legion side. I don't think this is where they get back into the game, but I'd love to be proven wrong. Always exciting when the CZ comes online. This time opting for only one of them. Hands are Kinky right now. B split potentially coming through. The initial grenades exchanged. Trying to remove vision from the CT side. Hunter patrols short. Drops a flashbang as he falls back here. Detective presence on the other side. Should be a clean kill for him to kick things off, which it is, but Kinky has found the orb of Kenny S, and Crad has taken down Hunter as well. So now they actually have the man advantage. They've scavenged the weapons. Forrester waiting for a prime opportunity, which does arrive, and the round starts to fall apart here. Nexa has to save the day.
Yeah, this is brutal to watch transpire. Jax caught by the exploited gap in the smoke. Can't handle all of these frags, and only one, that's just not enough. Amanek thrown now into a 1v3 against armored rifles. This is brutal. Smoke's arriving on his point of entrance. He's only got a flashbang. He's going to hope to burst through it, and surprise, he can't even get his face out of the smoke grenade. And a third found for Hard Legion. Forrester with a triple kill. A crucial one. But G2 just having so many kind of extremely volatile rounds, this time only against the pistols, and they fall flat on their face. Let's see how that happens. So this was the Forrester frag. He was first. He gets a second straight after that. Next, it was obviously distracted nicely, and a third just to finish things off, and he dealt with that push through the smoke. Yeah,
we hadn't seen much from Forrester in this second map. He certainly delivered on Vertigo, but that's much more like it. 8-3 now. Money actually in a pretty difficult spot for the French. We're going to see MP9s come through. There is the AWP Kenny S, but this is one of the rounds where they probably want to consider something a little bit more assertive at the start, see if they can open things up and shut down any default potential. This is the moment. If Hard Legion can win this, they could actually 8-7 this half, like no problem.
Damn. So a lot on the line. Picture painted by Mr. Greer.
That's G-R-E-E-R.
Double E.
So what's the play? Hard Legion sending most of their manpower towards the A side of the map. 3 players there. Got the AWP boosted up as well. We're seeing a lot these days. I suppose we'll jump across just like that. And Nexa, he offers himself up. A little bit too easy for Speedak there. Getting up to his name for sure, as we'll see an early 5 and 4 come through. And now we do need to see a reaction from the CT side. Luckily, Nexa was the player with the MP9, so not all is lost just yet. But still, not the ideal start considering how much weight there is behind this round.
Yeah, it was an interesting setup from Hard Legion. They actually leaned 3 towards A early, and then after finding that pick, kind of backed off for the idea of hoping Forrester would find some... Oh no, Jax. 2 rounds in a row this time. He's too wise to Forrester's games. Did get dinked in the process, though, down to just 10. Have to play a passive hold with Hunter as the primary defender of the A site. Bombs there as well, but still very spread out from Hard Legion at this point in time. Speedak's got his pistol out, AWP on his back, responsible for clearing Palace. He knows that that's an important branch of this assault. Stalemate, 40 seconds. We've seen Hard Legion go for these 2-pronged A assaults before. And up through connector. Jax, he has low HP, but he can't really contest this. From what we saw last time, he was just jumping for the info on the stairs cross. But they're going to go loud. Let's see if they've got anything to be proud of. And Hunter will be Molotov'd out of position, so forced to take this fight. He has actually managed to just tuck in. The flashes are there, and a frag is 2.
Down.
Bomb loose. 5 seconds. They're going to have to stop this plant. Krad, this is it. They can't wallbang it. They can't suppress him, and so Dream Eaters...
Oh no, it's gone down.
He got the frag in the end. Amanek was the one to find it.
Where did that come from?
Is he on short?
Oh, they waited so long. They had all the advantages and utility they could possibly ask for there, but somehow, some way, managing to stay alive on the bomb side there.
What? I thought they had it. It was just in the nick of time. He managed to get to triple as well. Safe plant from CT.
Yeah,
I thought that was the only threat.
There was no wallbang potential. Then all of a sudden, 2 kills from the FAMAS. Everything denied, and was ruffled by this. You can see the Hard Legion actually buying in the last few seconds. Might have needed a pause there. They've certainly taken a lot of them so far, but round 13 gives G2 a massive advantage here. Boots on the other foot now as Hard Legion feeling the financial burn. Flashbangs exchange, no opening pick this time. 9-3. Currently up 1-0 in maps, G2. They're going to close things out today. Currently just gone 9 o'clock here in Malta. 2 best of 3s to close out the day. Always a little bit scary, can go right on into late early hours of the morning. We'll see this one potentially end around half an hour's time, depending on whether this map continues in the same sort of momentum for G2. Smoke down from Kenny.
Yeah, he's taking a very aggressive stance towards Apps, and with this clear, he can now pretty much ask his teammate to be responsible for short. He's got Apps on lock. They've got a rather aggressive hold here from the CTs towards that ramp area. Jackson Nexa. Bomb in Palace. They do want to hit A on this with that mid presence. Completely uncontested mid presence. Worth addressing that they've just walked up. completely and totally. If they continue this walk, that's a huge gap for G2 boys. Now they can split up. Oh, Jax's aggression. He is just, you can't keep the leash on Jax. Smoke arrives just as the Palace push was coming out. They've only got 25 seconds, Hank. This is really awkward.
They've got to jump through and hope for the best. Next has got the number. Forrester can't even find the access point here. And actually might work out for him, but the bomb still alive and well, but maybe not for long now. 10 seconds remaining. They're getting absolutely wrecked here, and Speedak, he'll have time to get a couple of kills, but only 5 seconds on the clock, just a matter of time before the round is over. And it's going to be double digits for G2 here as they go 10-3 up. No plan found. Might just have to be, well, do you know what? With the maximum loss spenders, I think, coming through, they do have like 4,000 per player. I guess they could bring out AKs and armor again, but still not looking very good at all, as they'll take a tactical timeout here. They're third. As they discuss their options, how can they get these last 2 rounds in their favor? Do they take a partial buy and get the full buyout with Speedak's AWP? We said that was influential to their success. Or do they go in with AKs and armor, barely any utility? I love that from Jax. He's been pushing towards Palace pretty much every single round. It looks like he had a disadvantage in that swing, but somehow comes up on top, managed to get 2 kills towards the end.
Players and their, like, the decision-making regarding their crouch when they come around those corners, is, you know, we've seen him crab walk it, we saw him start standing and then force the adjustment halfway through the spray. He wins those duels more often than not. The one time, of course, we saw it not go well was the 3rd round, actually, for Hard Legion, where Forrester stepped up to the plate with 3 on a late arrival to A. So it's time to find out if we can keep this half competitive. Hard Legion, they really need both here and have opted to preserve and not fully invest so that they can really get that full buy, as you were talking about, Henry, into the final round of their T side. Let's see what they can do with the A smokes, though. Yeah,
they're just going to try and get the bomb down, get a post-plant situation, see if there's anything to be said about it. They made it work before with just the Deagles, but 3 CTs on this side of the map. One of them tucked in as well towards Shadow. Kenny S at the back, looking for initial kill, and then we'll drop back towards CT spawn if possible, but this can get out of hand very quickly. If they get the initial kill, pick up a rifle, they can snowball themselves out of this round, but we'll see. Kenny S is getting ready to smoke towards the Palace position. That's a pretty nifty way to do it.
Oh, yeah, well, it would have been. Would be a nifty way to do it.
Would be cool, but not that.
I was really excited for that. I was like, wow, I'm totally stealing that. That's genius. It is actually really awkward to get that smoke into Palace. Sometimes just bounces off if you go for the straight throw. Now here comes the execute. Charging in. Jax cowering, playing anti-flash, and now with his vision clear, he can catch Crad. Kenny as well in support. This is going so well for the CTs. A massacre as they get all their resources in the right place. Round 14 is a quick one as Hard Legion's bodies are thrown towards the A site and litter the battlefield moments later. So 11 then to 3. Time to see if G2 can really twist the knife now. Kick them while they're down.
That's what you'd like to see. But Hard Legion took the partial buy there for one reason, and one reason only, and that's to get the nice full buy here. Everything they need, 4 Kriegs and AWP. No helmet on Speedak, so not quite the full buy, but as good as. They can get 11-4. It wouldn't be the worst half. 12-3 though. Sounds like it's going to be too difficult to recover from. Their map pick though, the CT side might be much stronger. It's not exactly a special map of G2's, but that's a special place. Fiat and Forrester find kills in pairs here, but quickly answering back. That's Nexa from the connector, but he knows he's got a lot to deal with towards A. That's what they're finishing up.
They've got the flank as
into
well.
A very early finish towards the A side of the map, but Hunter's right behind them.
And Amanek from CT, they're coming in from 3 different avenues of assault. If they time this perfectly with the utility they have, this is going to be so suffocating. Kinky's already completely unawares. Now checks him, and Hunter, he thought Trigger Discipline was his friend, but instead he's punished for it, betrayed by playing the waiting game. Nexa has been too. Will flash in his teammate for the peak, but that frag, that could have been enough. Nice catch from Amanek on the way in. They are not giving this one up easily. Speedak with only his AWP as well. Should he lose Kinky, who's already low, this could be a problem. The smoke, there's a kit. Amanek's on it. He's holding it, and he's got it as well. Brutal way to lose the final round of this half. My goodness, 12-3. That is going to give a lot of Hard Legion to think about while we take a quick break. 12-3 on the half. It does really bode poorly for the Hard Legion gang. They picked Mirage to try and punish G2, and yet after Vertigo did not go their way, it seems to have carried over into their map pick.
Yes, you're absolutely right there. Not the half they necessarily wanted there, but it's not impossible to bring this one back. It all starts with a pistol round, of course. As we get into the second half, it is 12-3 against them, but we'll have a look at their buy, see if we can work out where G2 are heading towards. At least they got one smoke, a single flashbang. So A still an option for them. It is smoking connector instead of CT spawn. And we'll see whether this round is going to be a quick one. I would suggest not. We'll see as we'll get into one defuse kit for Hard Legion. They've got a couple of flashes as well, but 4 players of Kevlar. It'll be up to Jax to fend off any mid-aggression here, but nothing to be seen. It's 3 players towards the A side of the map for Hard Legion. One towards B in the form of Forrester, and then Crad holding towards the window right now.
They're charging up middle.
There's a smoke connector at least.
Completely flying through. And now the warning shots from Forrester. He is going to be vulnerable to Amanek. Good flash from his teammate Crad, but they actually caught Jax as well. A perfect flashbang by design. Crad doing everything he can to keep this site under lock and key. Bomb not yet retrieved, but Hunter's gone and doubled up. Now he can retrieve that bomb. Rotate coming in, he'll catch a glimpse of Speedak on the cross. His teammate's likely going to keep him safe. He's got coverage from Amanek. Nexa still towards the top of middle. He'll be ensuring that there's no CT presence there, and therefore his teammates can focus all of their attention towards this kitchen exit. They work it out. They know where both are, and Hunter's got a third as well. Looking to finish it. The cream on top of this rather creamy cake.
One player remaining. Speedak with little to no chance now. Bomb's ticking at some pace. Hasn't got the kit, and should be a Glock waiting for him. It's Hunter to get his 4th of the round there. 13-3, 4 spy in the CT. Pretty much guaranteed. If this one goes against them, that's going to be pretty much match point.
Yeah.
As they'll have an eco to follow things up. So the game might be decided here. They have to force by the Eagles. Look for 13-4. It's going to be an incredibly difficult round, and still so much work to do after that. Hunter recovers the round after losing the first couple of picks there. The Glock comes online fully. Gets himself 4 in total. Great work.
Yeah, satisfying to watch that one pay off. Next up, perhaps a little too excited with his celebrations. Did lose audio, but he's all back, and looks like we're ready to be jumping into this one very, very shortly, so no stress there. You do see a twist in the G2 second round buy for the first time. I imagine it's because Hunter had so much cash he could grab himself that AK-47, but typically they go for that 1 rifle, 4 SMG second round purchase, and this time they've got themselves a second rifle in the hands of Kenny and Hunter. Yeah,
technical pause. Just looks to be a slight audio issue here, so shouldn't take too long. Players will be underway momentarily. Hard Legion confirmed 4 spy here, 5.7s, Desert Eagles, basic utility, no kits. It's going to take something marvelous from their side of things to make this work. Remember, G2 normally bring out the SMGs, 3 MAC-10s, 1 Galil, and a single AK in the hands of Hunter. They win this one, pretty much GG.
It all comes down to round 17. You don't normally hear that, but for Hard Legion, that is the cruel reality, and they have made quite a ballsy call. So much riding on this, and they're leaving the A site wide open. You've got to gamble. And find that early advantage, and I thought they had. Sviat, he leapt down to underpass, good damage, but couldn't contend with the double peak. It's a 29 health for Hunter. He'll be operating with that for the rest of this round. Good Molotov. That's going to force Kinky to reposition. Won't be holding that line. Re-smoke window. They've got all their protocols in place. And that smoke actually coming out from Kinky's teammates for him to play around. However, bodies are dropping.
So a great lead here for G2. They have been known to give them away. 5-on-2 now. Crad and Kinky surely have nothing to say about this one. 5-on-1. So we said this was a must-win round for the likes of Hard Legion, but unfortunately for them, not a single kill found. No wounds inflicted. 3 kills for Kenny, 2 for Amanek, and usually you take a full eco here, Alex, but they don't really have that luxury right now. They give this one up, and if it is a full eco, they'll be 15-3 down, requiring 12 rounds in a row just for overtime. Really about the worst place you can be, to be honest with you, the start of second half.
It could not be worse. To start your second half off with that failed force, and now you're having to almost concede the 15th point here.
So all they really can do is swing out towards middle. Hope these grenades will connect, which they sort of do. A little bit of damage there, but needed at least a kill, I think. 2 PD50s, USPs. These rounds have been won in the past, but normally takes a couple of kills at the start of a round. Not going to be getting that. That's pretty much all they had. That final flashbang. Faster desperate to find any sort of gap.
Give me something to exploit. Find a way in, an advantage in this 2 P250s and a Zeus buy. Certainly not flush. Aggression, yeah. Somewhat of a flank. They've been spending so much time in middle, though. They have to be cognizant that this is a threat. Amanek's bounding around with his Mac 10, as is Jax, and oh gosh. It's a horrible way to lose the round, perhaps even lose the game. But it was a sacrifice they had to make to concede this one, and ooh, clear.
Freebie. That should be it. It's going to be Nexa. To keep a very clean sheet here. They haven't given up a frag in the last couple of rounds. Their money's going to be out of control, and now just one more required to close things down here. 12 in a row on the Hard Legion side. Pretty much playing to keep this competitive in terms of the scoreline at this stage.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they'll be stringing together 12, but it all starts here. They bring out the AWP, the M4s, but G2 was so much buffer. They can really do whatever they want here in round number 19. Smokes towards middle, and then an A execution by the looks of things. Knowing there's a real lack of cash on the CT side after those 4 spies. They've got 3 CTs towards middle right now. This will be a full A execution with just 1 out of the palace. That's going to be Nexa.
Flashes rain in. Smoke from Kinky, trying to keep them at bay. And oh god, if he gets more than 1 here, he can really slow down this assault when they cross. Crad and Kinky, the double Ks. They do have the CTs in good positions. The molly will force Crad to cross back through the smoke, though. Nice guys provided. Steps taken. Hard Legion in good positions to punish here, and that's Crad saving the day for Hard Legion in this round.
Yeah, I think that's an important footnote at the end of that sentence, Alex. The fact that for this round, sure, but that was the round G2 could afford to give out. They had Mac 10s, Galils, and the execution. That's about what we expected going into this one. But overall, round 20 coming through. Still plenty of cash after 2 clean rounds for G2. Nice positioning there from Crad. You can see them really focusing towards the connector. That's where the majority of the manpower was. But overall, it will be a round for Hard Legion there. But still, here comes the full buy now. That's where the AWP Kenny S comes through. The AKs and the Krieg.
Gets a whole lot harder now.
Yeah, this is where they've reached their final form. What's the play here? There is a chance to boost up there towards short. I feel Spinner's got this kill, no problem, but can he stay alive though? Needs to back up quickly.
Flash and a fake flash. Now Hunter operates with no pistol. He's being hunted down by Speedak. Good tag, and could potentially punish this one as he's counting on his teammate. Oh, Speedak does it solo. Really is the win condition for them at this moment in time. T or CT, get an AWP in that man's hands and let him go. Good info from Jax. Forces Kinky into the 1v1 and does manage to neutralize that threat.
Well, you know there's 2 players towards underpass, right? So at this point, presumably A is relatively open. Regardless, Jax reading it very well. Brings it to a 3 versus 3. Forrester, needs to be careful here. Luckily for him, Jax was low. Next up. No stranger to this position. He will preemptively fire towards Shadow and actually give them a very realistic chance of winning the round now. His teammate will drop. He spots the AWP now and actually segregates him from the situation. That's a decent Molotov. Actually does significant damage there, but even more so from Forrester. Another big round for them to pick up. 15-5. Money should be relatively broken here. We've got 5k on Nexa, 4,000 on Amanek's, so partial buy at best. But now 10 rounds required as Hard Legion start to come online here.
Giving it their best shot. G2, we talked about their pressure. Unlikely to play too much of a role in their final map here.
I dare say this is where it normally ends.
Yeah, with the
Just when you feel like, yeah, they've got a chance maybe, and then they lose the Deagles.
It's going to be the A execute. There's only going to be 1 man initially there to receive them. We saw this work out, of course, playing for the retake with all your utility and weapon advantage makes a lot of sense, but let's see. Flash off for Brad and does connect the first, nice and easy. That usually stops these from spiraling too far out of control, but access to Tetris. Through the box, he catches Kenny down to just 26. This one does look a little too far gone, but Amanek and Hunter in prime spots to try and punish. As Kinky opts for a fresh magazine, Amanek will consider and flirt with the idea of being on the other end of that smoke. Taking a double peek in. And Kinky's faked this so wonderfully. He does get traded out by the Mac 10. A double kill, no less. That's going to really throw a spanner in the works. SpeedX out of window. Amanek's grabbed himself an M4, does have the bomb. It kind of all hinges on him.
He's got the M4 now.
There's no way he can get past Crad. That's such a powerful position to be held. Oh, gets the info.
Off.
Crad's dropped off. SpeedX set up. Nexa trying to punish with his deagle. He's hit a couple of shots, but they're just not quite enough to profit. Another bullet connects. Crad lucky to be alive. Finally, Nexa silenced, and Amanek looked to do it all with 30 seconds. You'd have to go through B. Smooth moves. Go on. No.
Had to be a perfect jump there. They might still be aware that he could have gone vent, but at this point, who will come out on top? They've spotted him now. Should be a CT victory at this point, but we'll see if there's anything to be said. Amanek trying desperately here. The clock actually connects. 10 seconds remaining. He actually has a chance here. One more bullet will do it. Goes for the fake plant. Has to be a quick scope now, but out positioned by Sviat. An exciting round, but still it will be a win for Hard Legion. It comes right down to a one-on-one in the end.
Oh, damn. Amanek. He is such a gamer. He had 12 seconds just charging to close that gap. And he gave himself a real shot. It came down to a 1v1. Let's see if we can see that again. The double kill, no less. Grabs himself an M4. Manages to survive this flank from SpeedX. Then, had he landed the movement, dare I say it, the game ends there. But that was a lovely solution to a very, very perplexing problem.
Yeah, there was certainly some opportunities there to work with. If the quick scope connects to win the game, that would have been such a fabulous way to close it out. Round 22. Tactical pause for G2. Still pretty much guaranteed this map, but every round that goes against them, doubt starts to creep into your head, and we'll see now if G2 have what it takes to close things out. Mac 10s, going for a partial investment here, not even fully committing. Wanted to do it properly when they have the opportunity. For now, Galils and just the SMGs.
Now, they are against the double AWP, so sometimes there's an interesting interaction behind these buys, whereby a fast SMG buy can really punish a double AWP setup. And stifle them early with utility, and it looked like a good fall off from speed to punish Amanek, but wow. What was the range on that shot? Hunter cracking into the sight long range. Forrester, however, having no issues handling all of the remaining team members up until Kenny, yes, but fortunately SpeedX set himself up for the flank. Nexa, he's being held, but ooh, Crad. Not too foolish. We'll get another. So, double AWP successful for Hard Legion, and they continue their spree. That's 4 back-to-back, and they, of course, have to continue that run. It was 12 was their initial goal. They had to go and overcome all adversity. It'd be foolish not to frame this as G2. Just a matter of time before they connect their final round, connect the dots. But with every round that Hard Legion acquire, albeit as cleanly as they can, as you said, starts to creep in. Barrage of flashes. Wow, G2 desperately demanding some control as the CTs who are actually trying to contest that with flashbangs of their own. But now SpeedX does get the info on at least one.
SpeedX desperate to get a shot off there. Smoke will take the vision away. Amanek trying to find some spacing towards the B side of the map here. Molotov with his bait out of smoke. Forrester didn't want to have to throw that, but had no choice in the end. Still, one more round will do it for G2 here. Feels like they're starting to drop off somewhat. Smoke towards connector. Still down at T-spawn. Kinky flashed in. Reclaims territory towards connector.
"50 seconds on the clock. Kinky's holding his nerve. The smoke will fade. However, this is going to be such a hard multi-kill. You will just get the one. Good for one, though. And they molly short. That is indicative of an advance towards the A site, but it is all just smoke and mirrors. With 30 seconds left, they slowly crawl with the bomb towards A. And my God, if you look at that mini-map right now, it really does favor this G2T side.
Yeah, but Krad's there with the AWP at CT spawn at least.
Yeah, he could contest. If he stops that bomb from getting out, Nexa does go down. And Amanek, a crucial frag onto Crad. Now they can cross 12 seconds. Amanek needs to get that bomb down. He needs to hurry up. Jax will get the first. Amanek just about getting to the site on time. 2 versus 2 now. Plant down default. Jax has only got 6 bullets in that AK. Can't afford to go for the reload, and so now a multi-kill becomes very difficult, but that'll do. The first, fullback, fresh mag, Sviat, thrown into a 1v2 to keep Hard Legion's hopes and dreams alive. And it's not to be. 16-7 is the final scoreline. G2 will have a day off tomorrow. Free day, Friday, fun day.
Yeah, that's more like it from G2. A convincing victory there on their opponent's map pick of Mirage. Certainly hasn't been a good week in the office for them after the disastrous efforts in the grand final of CS Summit, but right back on track here. You're expecting them to lift the trophy here in Malta, and that's certainly an impressive performance there to confirm our thoughts initially, at least.
And initially, we'll bide our time and wait to see what G2 can do after their time off. The rest, however, Hard Legion will be thrust into the lower brackets in a battle for survival playing out tomorrow. First day in the books, my God. And a G2, they're going to be satisfied with that one. They've just arrived and touched down here in Malta and now find themselves with a spot in the semi-finals.
Yeah, Kenny S on home soil delivering that.
The Maltese sniper.
The Maltese sniper showing us what he's made of. He certainly looks powerful. On Vertigo especially, some great shots towards that A side of the map. Very impressive performance from them overall. It looked like the second half could have fallen apart there on Mirage, but still, after a 12-3 to kick things off, it felt like that was enough, Alex. Did you enjoy yourself?
I really did, yeah. No, I mean, I enjoyed seeing G2's T-side on Vertigo not work. Yeah, it sounds weird, but
no, I know
just
what you mean.
Seeing that the routines they established and worked all the time in Summit have been already broken down, analyzed, and completely and totally fixed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that means for the Vertigo meta, but a big win for G2, and it does seem like Malik's standing by on the stage with Stuna.
No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Henry. We're going to be jumping into this interview, talking a little bit about some of the things that we saw right here. First and foremost, we get the chance to see Vertigo played. Now, I've got to ask, you guys lean towards A on your anti-ecos, and that's got to be a scary thing, go up the A ramp as Vertigo is today.
I think my boys just love Vertigo, and they love A even more, so that's it.
So they can run with it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess more so on that note is when you're on Vertigo, you guys seem to find that space. You seem to find that comfortability, and it shows, like you're talking about. Is that going to be a stable map with G2 going into 2020?
We will definitely see it.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll continue on that, as well as Kenny continuing on the form he's on. Right now, he's looking hot to trot. What's going on with Kenny? Seems like he's here to play.
I think the system is putting in place, and we are working a lot with him, and we are making a lot of tournaments, and next year I'm sure we will see him more consistent, because this is what we want to see from him, and he will.
Absolutely, and another person that is on form right now would have to be Hunter. If we look at Hunter, he's certainly making impact plays. He's certainly getting things done here. What are the team comms like when Hunter's finding entries all over the map?
We just smile, and we feel even chiller. I mean, he's a machine, so he will not stop. He will not stop. He is very, very good.
Yeah, and I think that's going to have to be the storyline as we continue here at the Champions Cup, especially now that G2 and Furia have battled their way through day one, got things done rather convincingly and also fast, almost. Are you guys tired?
Very. We had so many travels. We have been on the road for 7 weeks out of 8. We come from the US, like you do. So we will just chill tonight, and we will make sure that we prepare well for the next games.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be on the lookout for. There aren't many of you here, but I'm going to have to ask you to give this man at G2 a couple handshakes, a couple round of applause, and everything that you need right there. For the time being, though, we're going to be going back to the desk, and that is the end of day one.
That's right, it is the end of day one, and we'll be closing things up here on the desk with Natu and Mitch for this final segment. And we got to say, okay, a bit scary towards the end there for G2, but overall it was a comfortable win. We never expected them to lose it. It's just, where we take your foot off the gas, they're like, oh, we've won this, we'll chill for a bit.
Yeah, it's like you're driving highway, you put cruise control on,
Yeah.
you have adaptive cruise control, and then you forget when someone's slowing things down. That happens to the best of us, right?
Yeah.
But all in all, you have to say, I mean, G2 obviously did have that cruise control on. Yes, there was a lot of like closer rounds as well that could have gone the other way around, but in the big picture, I mean, G2 were just far superior.
There was no moment where there was a cause for concern, really, for G2. We didn't see any of them get stressed. They knew, like, we have plenty of rounds to just bash this out. At some point, we'll pick up that straggler.
And Speedak, you mentioned it, Mitch, right? He needed to be a win condition.
Yeah.
He certainly played better, but it still wasn't enough.
But both himself and Forrester still had pretty good performances based on what we were expecting. So I was surprised to see they still struggled to get pretty much anything on the board. Like,
All right,
overall.
Don't die. James.
I'm muted my mic.
Yeah. I saw his hand in his pocket, and I was hoping he was messing with the microphone box. But yeah, taking a look at Hard Legion, overall, they did a really good job in terms of the conditions that we set out for them. Unfortunately, they let it go everywhere else.
sometimes what ends up happening. My voice is completely.
That's good thing.
He started whispering.
Listen. You plowed through 4 best of 1s, 2 best of 3s.
Yeah.
It's now 9:30. It's fine. It's fine if you're.
It's forgivable.
I'm glad we didn't go to a third. Let's be honest. If we went to a third, you guys would be on this desk on
Become
your
a
own.
whispering.
It would
We'd have to
just
have subtitles for you down the bottom.
It's just like, we can't even make out what he's trying to say at this point. Probably something about G2 looking good.
Banks poses some sort of question. Let's see what the analysts say.
This is all blindly looking at me. But who wasn't blindly looking around were some of these players on the G2 side once again, and Hunter and Nexa both tag team duo making it work for their team.
Yeah, Hunter having an ADR of 113.7 is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. They're on Counter-Strike.
Sorry, our host is dying. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have your mic muted. That's definitely coming through ours.
It's definitely coming through our microphones. Your death is
It's
upon
actually not,
us.
because I can hear you guys. It just makes me out of it.
Oh, so we just seem like we're going crazy here.
Exactly.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. I'm actually going crazy, so it's not really. It's
been a long day. I forgive it.
But here we see, and like those were the couple of situations there. You see where there was a possibility for our Legion to pick it up, and maybe if they would have gotten one of those crucial rounds where an economy would have been tight for D2. Yes, it could have been a little bit more competitive. And I did say before the game that I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a fight, but it just wasn't meant to be.
And sometimes it's not meant to be. But what is meant to be is G2 going to the semi-finals. That beautiful day off they get tomorrow to really collect themselves, like they were just saying there to Stunner. They've been traveling non-stop.
Yeah.
They've had a rough ride. They come back from America over to Europe, and then they have to compete in the last tournament of the year before we hit Christmas. And yet these guys want to have a really good showing here, potentially get a big win.
Hey, that's your choice, right? You've chosen to take that path. Just gotta ride it through. You got Christmas coming very soon, but I mean, everything will kickstart once again pretty early on next year. So it's not like they're gonna have a long break.
I mean, it's very important for them right now, though, to have that day off to reset their body clocks. Even like we were saying, some of the players have been up since 5 a.m. today just because they're still on the American time schedule. So now they're going to be able to reset a little bit, make sure that tomorrow they sleep all day, do whatever they need to do.
Don't sleep all day.
Yeah,
Don't break your schedule. That's gonna break your schedule.
I don't know. I deal with it very poorly.
Yeah, but I say, Mitch, any advice we could give you from lots of traveling is don't sleep all day when you're trying to fight off jet lag, because it'll end very badly, mate.
I'm lucky I stay in Europe most of the time, so I don't have to deal with the gigantic, like 6-7 hour deficit. It's not good. I've had to do it a few times.
What did Kenny say to you earlier? He woke up at 5 a.m.?
5 a.m., yeah.
Yeah, he's going to try
And he just couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah.
Couldn't get back to sleep.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes. It's certainly not easy. But this is where we end with Group A, at least for today. So Tyloo and Ents both losing their opening games. Natu cried a few tears, but he's confident going forward into tomorrow, most likely.
Yes, I literally cried, yeah.
You love a little bit of tears. Finnish men don't cry, don't worry. He's big, he's strong, he's a tough man, dad over here, and he believes in his boys either way. But Group B, we see G2, the ones that go all the way through, as we just said. Hard Legion are waiting to see who out of Big and Spirit will come. And now for me, that's a huge game, because for Big, this is the real crunch time. There is a lot of pressure on these guys.
Yeah, I mean, at least, the silver lining for them is that they had a pretty positive showing against G2. So, I still feel like that Spirit game is going to be tough for Big, honestly.
Yeah,
but,
same.
If they can continue with what they had against G2 earlier today, they have a pretty solid chance.
I mean, Big were actually looking good to maybe even close that game out. The only problem was they really started to slow down towards the end of the first half, and as soon as they went to the CT side and G2 got a read that their banana hold was a little bit weaker than it should be, how many rounds did we see them just blitz up there, find 2 kills, B-side open, and we were like, oh, Big are saving. What a surprise.
Well, we can see the matches on the screen for tomorrow. We're starting things off with Tyloo Ents, then Spirit Big, and then there'll be the teams that are waiting in the wings to take us all the way through the end and determine who our other semi-finalists are going to be to battle their way throughout all of this. So some action-packed days, 4 best of 3s, another long marathon day for us to get through, and then we're getting towards the home stretch. Any closing thoughts? Starting with you, Natu.
Close games. Apart from this map here, and then the Ents Movistar were like the only ones that were not that tight, right? Every one of the other ones were really close. Early on, we were thinking we were going to get all the rounds, but at least that didn't happen.
Yeah, we started off with those 2 30 mappers, but 30 rounders, 30 maps.
30 mappers.
Ooh, that's a long day. We're talking 4 best of 3.
Recycling 7 maps over and over again.
Yeah, let's just go. It'll be
Why
great.
not?
They lost us 2 the last 3 times they played it, just 26 hours ago. We're halfway through now. But no, yeah, we had really close games. It's still, I would argue, the Movistar Riders game, even though it was one-sided, that was interesting because it just blew us away with how it happened. This was the only map that was kind of like, all right, let's just get it over with. By the time we hit halftime, you knew what the storyline was going to be.
Nato, I just think he's trying to rub salt into your wound at this point. Just
Yeah.
bring that
All
up
right,
as his closing thought.
wrap it up so I can wrap
So-
him up.
Okay, cool, perfect. There you go. We've got the cue. Natu is ready to end this, and so am I. Mitch may not be here tomorrow, depending on what Natu decides to do with it all, and hopefully I'll be here if my voice survives. It's time for us to go home. It's time for you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow back in Malta for the Champions Cup finals.